Hi, thank you for joining me for this all levels slow flow practice. You don't have to have blocks, but if you do, keep them close by. They could be helpful at certain times. We're going to start today in a child's pose, and you can come into whatever expression, variation of this pose feels the most inviting for you. And if you wanted to use a block here, you could slide one under your seat or even underneath your head. Take a few moments, kind of just shifting around, wiggling a bit, and trying to just settle into a very comfortable and pretty cozy spot. We want to welcome the practice from a place of safety, security. We want to recognize the grounding effect of this posture. So as you're exhaling and really settling in, feel that sturdy ground underneath of you. And in these first few quiet moments of the practice, we just give in to that support, that sturdiness. We can let our bodies relax. And we'll also try to just let the mind rest for a few moments. We can focus on the breath instead of all of the stress off of the mat. So let's start to lengthen the breath a bit. The next inhale lasts a little longer and it moves a little further into the body. That allows our exhale to be nice and deep and complete, letting go of a little bit more air than you were just a few moments ago. That will give us more space to fill back up, welcoming in warmth, energy, and then just letting go of whatever you need to let go of. Let's notice how good it feels just to breathe and just to be. And we can remember this spot and come back to it anytime we need these quiet moments just to rest, to reconnect with the breath. This is also a nice exchange for downward facing dog. You can use these two poses interchangeably. Let's take one more full round of breath. Good, and then we'll go ahead and come up to a tabletop position. Let's put our wrist or maybe fist today right underneath the shoulders. Knees are right under the hips, and right away just feel your long neutral spine. We'll shift the shoulders back and find a nice long neck. With our next inhale breath, we'll soften the belly and we're going to pull the heart forward through the shoulders, lift the head, lift the tail. This is our cow pose. With an exhale breath, we'll push away. So we're going to scoop the belly high and tuck the chin and drop the tail. We'll just go back and forth. So inhaling, coming into cow as we extend the spine. Exhale, rounding away into cat, flexing the spine. And just going back and forth and finding your own rhythm. So let the breath be your guide. Maybe you want to keep your eyes closed here in these first few moments and just feel the breath guiding the body. Now this is an all levels practice, so I'm going to give you options today. So you can stick with this flow, or if you want to add a little bit on, we'll come into the cow pose, we'll tuck the toes under, and then with the exhale breath, we'll pull back into a downward facing dog. It's a little bit shorter here. Our feet are a little closer to our hands. So let's add that option onto the flow. So you can inhale and come into cow pose again. Knees land, heart lifts. Exhale either into cat, or you can pull all the way back into downward facing dog. So just continue on using your breath, flowing slowly. I have one final option for you. If you want to rev it up, when you come down for that cow shape, rather than letting the knees land, you can actually just have them hover. And then as you exhale, you'll pull back again into the downward facing dog. So this is just an option. If you want to rev it up a little bit more, engage the core a little bit more, knees just hover instead of landing. Let's pull back. And we'll do two more, any of the three options to choose from. Let's go one more time, breathing in, feeling that length through the spine. Exhale, pull back. Just hold your pose here, cat or the short down dog. Let's take a breath in while we're here. And then we'll just meet back up in child's pose again. So we'll let the toes go and we'll just walk the hands out a little bit further forward. Settle back in again and take another few still moments here and just kind of see if anything has changed in the body. Maybe you're feeling a little warmer. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more connected. With this child's pose now, we're going to bring in a little bit more activity. So can you spider walk the fingers a little further? Spread your fingers wider. And then just press deeply beneath the circle of your palms. So we're adding activity up and underneath the arms and into the back of the body. With the next inhale breath, we'll pull forward into kneeling plank. Let's hold the first one, sliding the shoulder blades back, extending the head way out away from the tail, and lifting the belly here to support your long spine and your strong back. We'll then exhale and pull back again. And let's just flow that a few times. So inhale, coming forward, almost like you're a turtle coming out of its shell. And then exhale and retracting back in again, coming back to that safe spot. Let's go one more time like that, inhaling. And then exhaling. So we're going to pull into the plank pose again, and maybe you just want to hold this to work on strength. If it works for you today, we're going to add a few yogi push-ups. So the elbows stay close as we come down halfway to Chaturanga Dandasana, but then we push right back up to that kneeling plank. Let's do it just twice more. So lowering down as we inhale, pressing back up as we exhale. One more time. We'll hold that plank pose, take a strong breath in, and then let's pull back either to child's pose or downward facing dog this time. This down dog's a little bit more stretched out than the last one. Might feel nice to pedal the heels here a few times, alternately bending the knees. And keeping in mind that child's pose is always just a breath away. Anytime you want it, anytime you need it. We're going to go ahead and pull forward into another plank. This time, maybe you stay on your toes. It's up to you. You can drop the knees if that's better for you today. And this time, let's lower all the way down to the ground. We're going to take a few baby cobra lifts here. So imagine it like a horseshoe shape with your shoulders. You're going to lift up and then pull back. We'll tuck the chin and just lighten beneath your hands here so that you feel the back body doing the work with the spinal extension. Complete the circle as you exhale and lower down. Let's do it twice more. So inhale, horseshoe shape here. Keep the chin tucked, head in line with spine. Exhale, we'll melt it back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, a nice little baby back bend here. This time with the exhale, we'll pull back into our child pose. And just empty the breath out from the depths of the lungs. Nice. From our child's pose, we're going to come up and take the right foot forward, and you can help it up there if it needs a little bit of help. We're coming into a kneeling lunge. See how that feels, and if the ground feels kind of far away, maybe you put a block or two underneath your hands. So let's lift up a little bit here. Hips are heavy, but the head and the heart get lighter, and we feel nice and long up top. We'll take a breath in, and then as we exhale, let's just shift back. So we'll pull into a kneeling pyramid. And then we'll go back and forth 2 more times. So inhaling into your kneeling lunge. Exhaling back into your kneeling pyramid. For this last one, if you want to express it a little bit more, you could lift your arms here. Take a big, beautiful inhale breath. And then with the exhale, just pull back, hands drop. Let's hold this last one. Find the exhale breath. Good. We'll shift back into the kneeling lunge just long enough to slide back into the child's pose again. And if you want to go into down dog instead, you can. We're going to take a yogi vinyasa. So from here, we'll inhale forward either into our plank or our kneeling plank. We're going to come halfway down, pause for just a moment, and then let the rest of the breath out as you land. Let's take that baby cobra again, tucking chin, lifting the heart, and then exhaling back to child's pose again. Really empty that breath out as you settle in. Let's take that left foot forward here, up between the hands, maybe grabbing some blocks if that's helpful for you today. And we'll go ahead and climb up and just feel that deep inner hip stretch, top of the thigh stretch. Kneeling lunge, we breathe in. With the breath out, we'll shift back into a kneeling pyramid. Let's do that twice more. So the inhale brings us forward. With the exhale, we'll pull back. This last one, if you'd like to lift the arms, you can. Maybe add a little smile to the dial. And then pull back again. We'll hold this. Exhale. Good. This time, let's go ahead and come through the kneeling lunge, but we'll step up to the top of the mat this time. So we'll come into our first forward fold here. You can be kind of gracious with that knee bend, a softness there. Let's find another deep exhale and just let the head hang, let the torso hang, let the arms dangle. And then we'll climb to the shins. We're taking our half fold, so we're going to pull the head way out from the tail. We're lifting the belly again, feeling that good support coming from our center. And then we can just go hands to hips and lift up the rest of the way, coming to extended mountain. We'll bring our prayer hands to our heart. Let's inhale, reach to extended mountain again. And then this time we'll take a big swan dive down, all the way back down into that forward fold. We'll climb up with an inhale breath into the half fold. And then this time, let's go ahead and bend our knees here. And then we'll reach out, coming into chair pose. Arms can be straight out, or maybe you lift them a little higher. Maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Let's do that flow again. So we'll sweep up extended mountain. Exhale, let that air just spill out here as you drape down over the legs. Half fold, climb up, go for length here, spinal length, torso strength. We'll bend the knees, sink into the depths of our chair pose. Good, and then we'll sweep up, lift and connect up top. This time just bring the hands to the heart. Let's inhale, reach to extended mountain. We're going to take that right hand, just grab the left wrist and we'll pull it over the body, taking a lateral flexion stretch now, opening up the side body. We'll come up to the center, inhale, and then just switch the grip. Lean the other way. Good. Let's go ahead and come up to the center. We're going to twist now. So hip points forward, shoulders rotate. We reach way out through all 10 of our fingers. We'll try the other side, a big breath. And then let's rotate, standing twist. Good. Inhaling here. This time we'll dive in again to the depths of that forward fold. Let all the breath out. We'll climb up for the half fold. With the exhale, we'll drape down. Let's take the right foot back of the mat. And this time you can choose if you want to stay up in the runner's lunge or you can drop back down to that kneeling lunge again. We're going to add a twist this time. So it could be helpful to put a block under that right hand if you have one. And then we'll just lift the left arm up. Nice. So really anchor down through the bottom hand while we reach high through that top hand. We're pressing that back heel away and pulling the top of our head forward. Nice deep breath in here. As we exhale and drop down, we're going to slide that right foot in enough that we can angle the toes and press to the outer edge of that back foot. So we're setting up a warrior one stance here. Once both feet are grounded, we can lift. We'll encourage our hip points forward and reach up through the arms, warrior one. Just really settle down into the stability, the foundation of your lower half, and then reach up for length. Feel nice and spacious up through that upper half. Let's take another big breath in, and then we'll just dive it back down towards the ground. We're going to step it back either to down dog or maybe settle down into the child's pose. And you can choose here if you'd like to flow through your yogi vinyasa or not. So coming forward to a plank, we can lower halfway. So you can choose that low cobra again, landing first, or flip to the tops of the feet. Press into long arms, hips are lifted. This is upward facing dog. Wherever you've landed with your back bend, take another big breath in. And then we'll exhale back, child's or down dog, you can choose. Settle into a state of rest here. So if down dog does not feel restful, we're choosing child's pose instead. So we're going to be traveling back up to the top of the mat, and there's lots of ways that we can get there. So if we're in child's pose, we can just kind of climb our way back up. If we're in down dog, we could walk the feet, or you could choose to lift the right leg high to the sky first through a three-legged dog variation. And then with an exhale breath, step that foot all the way up to the top of the mat. We'll follow it, folding in half. Let's take a look back through our legs here. And then we'll come up halfway, stretch the spine very long, and then we'll sink down into chair pose, maybe a little lower this time. Let's sweep it up, lift, find the connection at the top, and then just land here gently at the heart. We're going to do it all again, so sweeping to extended mountain, and then diving in to a forward fold. Let's go half fold, lift, and stretch it out. Full fold here, releasing back down. Left leg steps back. You can be in the runner's lunge or the kneeling lunge and maybe put a block under the left hand. Let's turn and reach up with the right arm. Press the left heel back. Pull the crown of the head far away from that back heel. With the inhale breath, try to reach up a little bit higher. And then with the exhale breath, we'll land, sliding the back foot in, angling those back toes. Before you lift, really push back into the outer edge of that back foot. And then use that deep foundation, a very grounded stance to lift into warrior one with a lot of confidence here. So hip points forward, heart lifting, active reach up top. But an easiness around the shoulders and within the face and even the fingertips and the wrist. See if you can balance effort and ease right alongside of each other. Let's take a breath in, and then we'll just come back down. We'll step back or slide back. Child's or down dog. The vinyasa is optional. Take it or leave it. Plank pose. Halfway, back bend of choice, low or high, so cobra or upward facing dog. And then let's pull back, child's or downward facing dog. Settle in here and take a few breaths. So just like before, how you get to the top will be up to you. If you'd like to lift the left leg in the down dog first, press evenly and equally into both of your hands. We'll take a breath in. And then with the exhale breath, we'll step forward, top of the mat, following here, folding in half, halfway up. And then let's sink deep into our seat. We'll sweep up, lift, and then just land gently at the heart. Good, we're going to take things back down to the mat here, so let's lift. And we'll dive in. And then we'll just climb down to a tabletop here. One time, let's take a spinal balance. So we'll go right arm and left leg. So reach up through each of those limbs, opposites here, and extend way out. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, let's just try that on the other side. Just a little check in here, left arm, right leg. Stretch and strength existing at the same time. Good, a nice deep breath in. And then exhale and release. Good, we're going to swing the legs around and come down onto our back. And we'll hug the knees into the chest. We're going to take just one little quick bridge pose here as we lift the hips up. We press down through the arms. We firm up the underside of the body. And just for a brief moment here, we reverse the direction of energy through the body. Let's take one more breath in. And with an exhale, we'll melt the spine back down to the mat. Feet a little bit wider. We're going to reach the arms up and just sway here, windshield wipers. So arms and legs going in opposite directions. Little hip check-in, shoulder check-in. Little twisting sensation through the low back, low belly, little massage across the back of your pelvis. Good. If there's any other movement that would make your body feel really good before we finish up, I encourage you to take it. Otherwise, I encourage you just to find a very restful spot now. So maybe you want to extend the legs, or maybe you just want to let the knees fall against each other. Arms could be by your side, or hands could drape over the torso and the heart. Feel your breath and feel your body, and stay here. And just enjoy some moments of stillness, recognizing the importance of slowing down and tuning in. Stay here as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.